Are you an emerging business leader? How would you like a full ride MBA scholarship? It's possible. The Ivy College of Business is offering a full scholarship for one standout student in the online MBA. This first Emerging Leader MBA scholarship will be awarded to one qualified candidate who is ready to start classes in the fall of 2026. Apply by May 15th. The link is copied below. Reach your full potential with the Iowa State MBA.
The Business Record News Headlines is brought to you by the Ivy College of Business at Iowa State University, where world-class faculty, staff, programs, and facilities come together to deliver business education for a rapidly changing world. At Ivy, students gain more than a degree, they gain real-world experience and the confidence to lead in any industry. Welcome to the Business Record Iowa News Headlines podcast presented by the Ivy College of Business at Iowa State University and supported by MediaCom Business. This is your essential weekly briefing on local business news from across the state. I'm Business Record President Chris Conetzkey, here with my co-host, Business Record Editor Sarah Diehn, and we're starting with our Business Record Roundup, reviewing the top 3 stories reported by the Business Record Newsroom that you might have missed over the last week. Sarah, take it away.
Thanks, Chris. Economists from Iowa Farm Bureau and Iowa State University presented a new joint report on Iowa's agriculture economy at Farm Bureau's Economic Summit last week. The study found net farm income in Iowa declined 53% between 2022 and 2024. Iowa is 3 years into an ag downturn driven by high input prices and trade uncertainty, and economists said it's predicted to continue for another 3 years. Christopher Pudens with the Farm Bureau said the clearest sign of broader economic ripple effects from the ag downturn is a steady tightening across the farm economy. The economists also highlighted long-term modeling that shows increases in global corn and soybean production in the next 25 years, but suggests net U.S. exports will likely decline, while Brazil's exports are expected to increase.
The Business Record has learned a real estate investment trust has acquired Hubble Realty Co.'s portfolio of Edencrest senior living communities, ending Hubble's 15-year investment in developing and expanding the brand. Ohio-based Welltower paid Hubble Realty nearly $133.9 million for its 10 Edencrest communities. A Hubble spokesperson said the company was unable to comment on the transactions and told the Business Record Hubble does not have plans to develop more senior living communities. Websites for the 10 senior living communities show the properties have been renamed and are now being managed by senior housing operator StoryPoint Group. Welltower has recently acquired more than 900 senior living communities and in the central Iowa region purchased a nursing and rehabilitation center in Granger earlier this month.
A Des Moines electrical manufacturer was awarded $2 million in tax credits from the Iowa Economic Development Authority Board Friday. Electrical Power Products is adding 420,000 square feet to increase fabrication, assembly, and wiring capacity at its Des Moines campus. The $42 million capital investment is expected to create 200 jobs. The IEDA board also set tax credit allocation caps for fiscal year 2027. The board can approve up to $50 million in business incentives for growth awards and $40 million in research and development tax credits in the next fiscal year. You can read all these stories in full and more news at businessrecord.com.
Next up is our statewide headlines with the news you need to know from across Iowa. We bring you the news each week with the help of our sponsors. So before we get to the news, let's hear from our sponsor, MediaCom Business.
Introducing MediaCom Mobile for Business, keeping you connected wherever work takes you. Get unlimited nationwide talk and text. Plans start at just $30 a month. Monthly taxes and fees included. MediaCom Business. One connection, one provider.
Here are the week's statewide headlines with the news you need to know from across Iowa. First up, Radio Iowa reports Ida County has joined the list of Iowa counties that are placing a moratorium on new data center development. The Ida County Board of Supervisors unanimously voted to enact an indefinite moratorium while it learns how data centers could affect local resources and develop ordinances. At least 9 Iowa counties have a temporary moratorium on data center development.
As federal research dollars shifted over the last year, the Cedar Rapids Gazette reports Iowa State University saw a drop in research funding in the 2026 fiscal year, and the University of Iowa reported an increase. Iowa State's portion of external funding going to research is down nearly 23% from last year, citing drops in support from agencies including the U.S. National Science Foundation. University of Iowa's research funding increased by about $3 million, due in part to continued support from the National Institutes of Health. Iowa State started its 2027 fiscal year with an announcement of a $15 million award from the NSF for a biomanufacturing initiative.
The state's latest employment report showed Iowa employers added 600 jobs in June, the fourth consecutive month of increases. The private sector led the growth with 1,100 jobs added, offset by the loss of 500 public sector jobs. Sectors that saw job growth in June include the trades, retail, and wholesale trade, while manufacturing was among the sectors that lost jobs. Iowa's unemployment rate stayed the same from May at 3.2%.
The Cedar Rapids Gazette reports the Palo City Council has approved a data center ordinance that largely mirrors the Lynn County ordinance adopted earlier this year. Palo City officials also told residents last week the city would not offer Google tax cuts if it decides to build a data center in Cedar Rapids. Google has expressed interest in annexing a site in unincorporated Lynn County into the city limits of Palo. If the land is annexed, it would not be subject to the data center moratorium passed by Lynn County earlier this month.
QTS Data Centers, which is developing a data center campus in Cedar Rapids, is providing a $5 million grant to launch a skilled trades workforce program in eastern Iowa. The grant will support technical education and career pathways at regional high schools and community colleges, as well as a new pre-apprenticeship and partnerships with local union chapters. State labor forecasts predict more than 5,700 construction jobs are expected to be added in Iowa through 2034. That's our show for today. But before we go, we've got a couple of things for you to take with you through the rest of the week. One thing coming up, make sure to register for our virtual manufacturing forecast event on August 6th. Our Made in Iowa podcast host, Lisa Fox, is going to talk with Iowa manufacturing leaders about their stories of adaptation related to workforce, automation, and succession. And one fun thing to know, you can take advantage of the cooler weather this week and head to Northern Iowa for Nordic Fest in Decorah, including food, music, artwork, and a parade. The event runs Thursday through Saturday. Thanks for joining us today, and thanks to our sponsors, the Ivy College of Business at Iowa State University and MediaCom Business. Each week, you can count on us for a dose of balanced news with the context you need. So if you enjoyed today's show, please like and subscribe. We'll see you back here next Wednesday.